Hey everybody, I am back with Stitch the Seasons Summer, and I haven't worked on this literally since the last video, which is, I don't know, a week and a half ago, a week ago, don't even know. So I hope you're doing well. Today I am going to, sorry, I'm threading a needle. Can't talk, walk, and chew gum at the same time. Today I am going to work on the butterfly. Now, I was going to use this thread, but I think it's going to be too heavy. Let me retract here, back it up, beep, beep, beep. Let's see. I think I'm going to use this because, you know, welcome to Variegated Anonymous, where we all love the variegated thread. Goodness, this variegation is very long in between colors though, so it's going to be a little tough. Yes, I'm unwinding a lot because I want to have some of this darker in the center of this butterfly here. And I just really like, I don't know, lately I've been I went through a period where I wanted to use all the thick threads. And then, before that, I wanted to use all the thin threads. Well, I'm back to wanting to use thin threads. So, one strand, can't even see it, of 6-stranded DMC number 99. Was going to use my hand-dyed thread, but then decided against that because it is not, look at that, a knot before you even start. Okay, this is way long, so I'm going to cut this lighter thread off about there. And we'll use that later, most likely, or for another project. Yeah, so the hand-dyed thread I was going to use, what's that knot? Oh, come on, really? Turn on the camera, you'll mess everything up. Shoot. And that's the dark part I wanted to use. Okay. Welcome to my world. This is what happens when you don't do a video for a week. Of course, this is what happens when I do a video anytime, so just bear with me, please. Okay. Try this again. Really? All right. Next. Switched threads, switched needles. Prepared? No. Yeah, okay. So I do hope this finds you well, like I said, and keeping busy. All right, I'm not putting a knot in it. I haven't been using a lot of knots lately. So, all right, let's just start here. I'm going to do is just pull my thread up. No, it does not have a knot in it. I'm going to go right back down, but not in the same hole, of course. And then I'm going to come up again. And that's not pulling out. So no knot. And that's not pulling out. That's what I wanted. So I'm just going to thread paint this a little bit. Now, I did this morning, I did these two leaves. I did the little bee on the hive, which I hadn't done yet. I did the hive the last time. Finished that on camera. And I did the little rope that's supposed to be tied to something. Thought about cutting that whole part off, but decided against it. So it's just kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere, which I'm fine with. It can hang out in the middle of nowhere. This is a fantasy piece. My stuff is not anywhere near realistic, so no sweat there. Now I just want a few of these darker strands because the darker doesn't really last very long on this thread. Oops, shoot. So we have been going through the heat and the humidity and all that crazy weather that I think everybody else is having. Almost everybody else is having, at least those of us on the East Coast. And I cannot wait for autumn or fall or whatever you like to call it to get here. The stores, holy cow. The stores have come out, like the craft stores and stuff have come out with all of the autumn decor. Haven't even made it through Memorial Day yet. Memorial Day, Labor Day. That's the one in the autumn, in the fall. Haven't even been through that yet. And the stores are just, jeez, all the scented stuff. And I'm very sensitive to the scented stuff, so I have to hold my breath when I walk by it. Even the grocery stores, you know, those scented pine cones that they insist on thinking everybody wants to smell. Yeah, it's a bit much. And a bit soon. Because in the heat of August, that did not come through it tore through the fabric, so I'm not happy about that. All right. In the heat of August, it smells even more. It smells like hot cinnamon. So, I don't know if it's like that where you are, but here in Virginia, that's what I've been smelling when I go to the stores. So we really haven't been up to much. Don't have a whole lot to talk about. So this will be more about stitching. I'm trying to follow these lines, these veins that are going this way. So, and since the thread is changing, I shall I don't know that this is going to be like, you know, 100% solid type of thread painting. I think I'm going to leave a hint of the fabric. Ooh, that's not really the direction I wanted it in, but we're gonna go with it, I think. Yeah, I'm just going with a hint of the fabric going in behind it, showing behind it, I should say. And you can see the thread is changing color. Gotta love it. Love my variegated thread. So, found out this morning that they're taking one of the Olympic medals away from one of the American gymnasts. Sad. I mean, they had to take it away from a Romanian to begin with for her to get it. Now they've reversed their decision again. There's just a lot going on in the world that's very, very sad and negative. But I am going to lose myself in my stitching. I'm not wearing my thumb brace. I have been lazy and not putting it on. So I'm sort of dealing with it. Being naughty, stitching without it. it gets caught on everything. It's such a big brace. But I canceled the surgery that was supposed to be scheduled for November. I'm like, no. They said, so why do you want to cancel? Well, because I don't want to be in pain for 3 months. Thank you very much. I've just decided I don't want to have it done. Usually they don't ask. They just say, okay, it's canceled. But that's okay. I've been trying to do some watercolor paintings. I know what I want to do. I found YouTube videos on how to do it, but I cannot get mine to come out that way. I think part of it is the paints. And the person I was watching said that the paper she was using, which was not Strathmore, and she named another one, but I'm not familiar with that one. And she was in, I believe, France, but she's from the UK, I believe. I don't know. Anyway, she said the watercolor paper she was using in this demo was not absorbing the water the way Strathmore does. So maybe because I've cheaped out on the paper, it could make a difference. Well, not maybe, probably. And then, yeah, and the effect that I'm trying to get just was not working. And I get very frustrated very easily when things don't come easily to me. So I give up. But I keep practicing. I'm trying not to give up. I'm trying not to be childish about it. And we'll see. We shall see. So, if you're new here, this is kind of what I do. I used to jump from one craft to another. Right now, and probably for the last, probably 4 years now, I'm very much more into stitching. But to give my thumb a rest, it's not like I can pick up. Normally in August, I have an urge to pick up crocheting or knitting. I'm not a good knitter. I am not a good knitter. And I don't follow patterns. I sort of find a stitch I like, and then I make my own decision on what I'm making. I've made shawls and throw blankets and stuff like that. But because it involves thumbs and pinching, I am not picking up any type of yarn projects. So, because you have to, pinch with that motion too. And that's what sets off my thumbs. Sure, not doing that, which is weird for me. But I really haven't had an urge to either, which is weird for me. So, yeah. I did work on my ocean-themed, tide pool-themed Maine tide pool, Maine as in the state of Maine, piece. And I ended up finishing that, which is basically what I've been working on for the last week. And since nobody was really interested in watching what I was doing on video, I did not do it on video. I did one video and it did not go over well at all. In fact, none of my videos are going over very well at all, but that's okay. I'm here just to chat with you guys, and I've given up trying to look at the analytics. All it does is depress me. Some days I feel very alone out here. But it's okay. I know there are some of you out there that stick with me and are friendly and comment, and you're kind. Ow! Just stabbed my finger with a needle. I'm not in love with this one, but I like the top one. Sometimes it takes me a while to get going and like what I'm doing. So, yeah. Now, I do have a, the crossbody bag I'm making. I have the lining ready to go. If you are watching this and you have been watching the crossbody bag videos and you're interested in how I'm doing the lining, leave a comment below down there. If you can, if you're watching from something other than your television and you get on your phone or your iPad or your computer and you want to see me do the lining on video, let me know. And what I'll do is wait. This is August 11th, I believe, 2024. So if you're watching this, I mean, it's not, this is when I'm recording this. It won't be that when you are watching, because I don't think I'm posting this today. It'll probably be tomorrow, which will be Monday. But I get to talking and I don't pay attention to what I want to do. But I'll leave it for a few days and see who comments about whether you'd like to see me do the lining on camera. I will be using my sewing machine. It could be done by hand, but to save my thumbs, I am going to do the lining by machine. There are a lot of layers to the lining of this crossbody bag, and I might be overshooting what I'm trying to do for the inside of the size of bag. I have, right now, I have planned 2 zipper pockets and the folds for the card holders. The cards, you know, like your bank card or your ID card or your driver's license or, you know, that kind of thing. Medical cards, etc., etc. And so I have those folded and I have 2 zipper pockets. And it's a very small crossbody bag. So I think it's going to be very squished inside, but after doing probably the 5th or 6th correction on my previous crossbody bag, which I made with the, this is getting very light and it's not going to match the other side, so I think I'm going to stop this thread and use the other end of the next thread. So in order to, so my previous crossbody bag was made from the Roxy Creations challenge for a trifold pouch. And I decided to make that into a crossbody bag, and I'd never done the inside of a bag like I did that one. Oh, I'm trying to untangle things here. Bear with me, please. Maybe I'll use this and take that knot. Okay. Since that knot already exists. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. I will. Other end, Martha. Sorry, trying to get this threaded. I finally figured out what sort of kind of works. It's not a proper inside of a bag at all. The zipper pouch is sort of just floating there. But the bag is so squished together that it doesn't go anywhere. It works perfectly for me. I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't sell it as a pattern or anything else, but I wouldn't advise you to do it that way. But pretty much that's how I'm going to do this next one. I'm going to stick one more of this dark in here just because I have the dark at the end of this thread. One more here because I have the dark. Now it's starting to change. So, yeah, I'm going to do this one with 2 zipper pouches because I have found that my keys need a zipper pouch. Tell me why we use key fobs now. I mean, I know it's because all the cars have electronic, you know, doors and locks and all that for those of us that have those kind of vehicles. But the good old days when you just carried a car key and a single, just a flat car key, why can't we go back to that if we wanted to and just have the fob as a separate thing? Like, I don't know. It's frustrating because the fobs are so big and fat, and my fobs for the car, my fob for the car is long. It's like that long. Why? Why does it have to be that big? And it's thick and it's bulky and it's a pain in the butt to put in a small bag. So, yeah. And then my van, I usually, in my other zippered purse that's commercially made, I usually have both key fobs in one pocket. But I just can't carry both key fobs. I mean, I don't need to either. But I like having the van key fob with me in case something happens and I have to get into the van for some reason or other in an emergency, blah, blah, blah. So anyway. So I can't carry both fobs with me. There, that turned out pretty enough. I'm happy with it. That's an extra thread on there. Okay, well that was easy. So anyway, I can carry my van key fob when I'm not driving the van. Now, the van key fob, the key, actually, we have a 2018 on a 2017 chassis. So the key, actually, you have to pop the key out to turn in the ignition. Our car is a push-button ignition, so there is no key to pop out. That came out pretty. I like it. It stands out very pretty now. All right, now this little guy here needs orange, orange, orange. Not a lot of orange in my life. I don't even know. That's really orange. That's not even a gold. It's more gold, right? That's pretty close. Not that one. What about this little? Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Not even sure that's not the same. This is 51, 108, DMC. Almost the same. What was this one? This is 90. So, there you go. Let's get all the other threads out of the way and get to the part of the orange I need. All right, that'll work. It goes into this lighter yellow, but we'll see how that goes. I don't think I have orange or gold orange. But just let me just check to be sure. Well, I do have this. That's almost too bright. This. Nope. And there's that. See, I really like this darker, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a few shades difference. Not sure it shows up on camera. But, oops. Cameras. There you go. All right, I think I'm gonna stick with that. Too gold. That color's not even the right color on there. Whatever color that is not the right, it's not the one that goes with this. Maybe. Okay, let's see. I think that goes to one of the other ones. That's pretty close. Maybe we'll use that instead of this color changing one, the variegated. All right. Decisions. And we'll go with this one because that's more of a, I just want to stick with what that looks like. I think that's supposed to be a monarch, right? Boy, tough times today. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. So back to the crossbody bag saga. So if you want me to show it on camera, on a video, let me know in the comments below. Not interested, you don't have to comment at all. Oops. About the crossbody bag. Now, as I said, as I'm filming this, it's August 11th. I got to come up with some new projects because this Stitch the Season, I can't believe it, but in a couple of weeks, it'll be a year since I started it. I think that's the longest I have ever stuck with a project. Now, granted, there were 4 different, seasons to get through. And our seasons here are very different from each other. We have a definite 4-season vibe here in Virginia. So we I had a lot to choose from as far as what to do for the seasons, and I really enjoyed it. So Corinne, if you're watching, thank you, my dear, for including me in this and inviting me to do it, and I have enjoyed it immensely. And now I need to come up with something new. And I don't know why, I just have not felt the urge to do the Roxy Creations one. Well, I do know why, because I want something useful at the end. And when they were doing the useful things, it was more appealing to me. So there's that. But trying to sort of stay with the curve of this, each section of the wing color. Do a little overlapping so it looks a little smoother. Sorry, I have to fix my... If these were not so close to the edge, I would have these in a hoop and be using my hoop stand. I really like my hoop stand. For those of you that may have watched the last video, I do really like the hoop stand from Michaels. Tony ordered new, on the Michaels stand, they have, I think, 3 knobs. I think 3 knobs that are easy to turn. They're plastic knobs. The rest of them, that was my thumb that just cracked. The rest of them were just wing nuts, little silver metal wing nuts. And I was finding it very hard to turn the couple that I used more, 3 of them that I used more for adjusting. And so I asked Tony if he could find more of the plastic knob so I had something to grip onto. Well, bless his heart, he went to the local hardware store, which is just outside of where we live, and they didn't have anything. Now see, I want to remember that's there so I can put a French knot there. So I'm going to stitch around it, I think. What I should do is put the French knot in now. They didn't have it at the local hardware store. And then he drove further up the road, probably 15-20 minutes up the road, and went to Home Depot. They didn't have the knobs either. So, and they have to be the kind of knobs where the bolt can go all the way through the knob, not just stop where the knob meets the end of the bolt. So hard to describe unless you can picture what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, so he came home. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he went in one of the stores and they measured the bolt for him. He said, this is a 5M blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And it was a metric bolt, size bolt. And so he went on Amazon, even though we tried to find local. He went on Amazon and he found knobs. Now, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but when you go on Amazon and you look at something and the picture looks like something might be this big, and you get it and it's this big, yeah. But the knobs work and they're perfect for what I want. They're a whole lot easier than wing nuts. So if any of you decide to get that stand from from Michaels craft stores, an embroidery hoop stand, then you want to change out those wing nuts and you need that information, let me know, because I can put the link below. I am not an Amazon affiliate. We paid for everything. I'm not a Michaels affiliate. I paid for everything. I'd love to be an affiliate for somebody for things that I use a lot of, beads, stuff like that, but I am not, alas. So I get nothing free. Pay for it all. Starting to run out of thread. A couple more stitches. I'll be stitching along and all of a sudden both my eyes get very blurry. Not fun. Okay, I'm not taking any more chances. I don't need to play thread chicken. I've got lots of thread. Excuse me. Come on. Thank you. All right. we did go by. I wanted to look and see if any of them were on sale. They were not. However, we bought an umbrella, a deck umbrella. It's not a big fancy one. We bought it from Lowe's because we get military discount at Lowe's. And I've heard some other things about Lowe's that are better than Home Depot, so we try to shop at Lowe's whenever we can, but it is further away for us, so sometimes we just can't. But it's a hardware store for those of you not in the USA. I wanted to see if any of the stores had deck umbrellas on clearance. Now, my husband is not one to run around to a bunch of different stores, although I just told you a story where he did. He went to 2 stores. I would have probably gone to 10 if it had been up to me just to find the thing locally, but, you know, not worth it. So we went to Lowe's and I found one of their less expensive umbrellas for $40. I think it was 40. And we spoke to Tony asked the man working in the outdoor section, who was kind of a interesting guy. Whoa, come on, Martha. If they were going to be put on clearance anytime soon. And he said no, because people buy these until they're gone, and then we just don't put them on clearance. Basically, I think they put the stock away and sell it the next year or whatever. So we asked if there were any more floor stands, because you have to have a big, round, heavy weight stand to put the deck umbrella in. They don't come together. And so he had 1 floor stand left. And it was under one of the display tables. And he said, I'll give it to you for $20. Well, the bolt inside there's a bolt, there's the floor stand, and then there's a pipe about that long comes up, and that's what holds the pipe, fits inside of it for the actual deck umbrella. Well, the pipe that's supposed to hold the umbrella stand, or the umbrella rod, whatever you want to call it, that part, was really wobbly. They had not put the right washers in or something. So the guy and Tony walk over. I sat down at the patio stand and guarded my umbrella and my umbrella stand, the thing that the umbrella fits into. I sat because my foot was bothering me that day, and I just was guarding the stuff. So I had a real show going on too, because I was watching people coming and going, and it was kind of fun. Anyhow, I love to people watch. Absolutely love people watching, unless people are doing something really dumb. But anyway, so they come back with a different bolt. The bolt is too short. So Tony goes back over. The guy tells him to go back over and find another bolt. And he said, if I get called away or I'm not here, blah, 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 just put the bolt in, and take the stand and go. So Tony walks back over, and meanwhile the guy is putting a sticker on the stand, and he marks it to $15. So yay, got the stand for $15, and it was probably, those stands are not cheap. They probably run $50 or $60 at least just on their own. So, I thought that was a great, it was dirty, it was dusty, But it worked, except for the bolt not fitting. So Tony comes back and he says, the guy was still there, and he says, there are no bolts that are in between this size and this size. The one that was too short, and the one that was in there that was not fitting correctly. It wasn't fitting tight enough. So the guy says, okay, well, why don't you go get a couple washers? Meanwhile, we've opened this package to the, I'm letting my thread untwist. We've opened the package, and he says, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it that you opened it. Don't worry, don't worry about it. Where did I leave off? And so Tony walks back over. Poor guy, he had to walk back and forth halfway across the building. And those stores are not small. And my foot would have been screaming at me by the time I was done, because it was already screaming at me. So I would not have been happy. But he comes back with some washers. All the thing needed was a couple of thicker washers. So he put those on, worked great. Meanwhile, the guy had been called away to help somebody outside. And so we grabbed the floor stand, and we grabbed the tent, or the, not tent, but the umbrella. And we paid and left. And we get outside, and he goes, you were going to buy not extension cords, surge protectors. Did you know that surge protectors expire? Yeah, you're supposed to replace surge protectors like every 5 years or something like that. And if you've had power outages and it comes back on and your stuff is connected to a surge protector, you're supposed to replace them after that happens. Did you know that? I had heard that somewhere, probably a TikTok video or something. And I was like, no fooling, really? So I told him I needed a new one for the bedroom because I plug my chargers into it. And if your chargers for your devices, cell phone, iPad, tablet, whatever, are plugged in, they are drawing energy from your electric all the time. Even if they're not plugged into your phone or your iPad or your device or whatever, they are drawing power. So I said to him, one of the ways I want to start cutting back on, because our electric bill this year for the summer, because it's been so hot, has been really high, really, really high. We have air conditioning. And because I have some asthma, and because I have a heart condition, and because I sweat so easily, just sitting still, lack of estrogen and stuff like that, I have to have it cool. I can't get overheated. If I do, I start, having issues. So anyway, so we have air conditioning. I know it's not very good for the earth. I know that, but I need to live. So I need air conditioning. So, and it's been really hot here, like upper 80s and 90s, many 3 months of 90s. So I said one way we can cut down a little bit is if my chargers are not drawing energy all the time. Can I unplug the chargers and plug them back in? Yes, but then the outlets and stuff become loose and the chargers are, it's not a good practice. So anyway, I have chargers in the living room next to the love seat where I sit at night, and I have chargers in the bedroom. So I wanted a surge protector. Plus I have I have 2 lamps, I have 2 chargers, and because I have an older iPad and a newer cell phone, they take different chargers, of course. So we had to go back into the store and we looked at surge protectors, and they're not cheap. You used to be able to pick up a surge protector for $10. Not anymore. Not only that, but I looked for UL listed, which is supposed to mean they're safe, right? Not one of them there said UL listed. I think they say TUL or TL listed now. Anyway, don't know. Anywho's, so we got two. We got a new one for the computer, the laptop, because that surge protector is heck. Oh, how'd I do that? I don't know how that happened. The surge protector for the laptop is eons old, probably 15 years old. And we went through many, many surges with it at the farmhouse that we lived at prior to living here. And since we've been here, we've had power outages. And the computer is always plugged into that. So we wanted to, get a new one for that. And got one for the bedroom. And then we'll replace some of the other ones around the house. I have one on the desk I work on here. And something I need to do is I need to go around to the new ones and mark the date on them that we bought them, so that we know when we purchased them and when they need to be replaced in 5 years. So anyway, ow, stabbed my hand. So we went back into Lowe's and bought the surge protectors and came home and put the deck umbrella up, but then we had to take it down because we had a tropical storm Debbie. Thanks, Debbie. Tropical storm Debbie. She blew through and had wind and rain, and we didn't get it as badly as a lot. We were kind of in a hole. It was west of us. It was east of us. It was south of us got really walloped. And north of us got really, our daughter lives, I don't know, probably 40 miles up the road. And she had so much rain coming through, it was starting to leak under her garage door. So, not cool. But anyway, so we took the umbrella down and brought it inside for that. But it's up today. It's a sunny day, and it's creating enough shade over the sliding glass door that it is not unbearably hot in here, and I can open my curtain. And I have some problems with seasonal affectiveness disorder. So not having the curtains open, I have to close my curtains every summer. And I work in this room. And I spend most of my day in this room and all night in this room because it's the bedroom. So I was finding myself getting very unhappy having to sit in a dark room with false light. I need natural light. It's what keeps me going mentally. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I get up and I open a curtain so that the morning light, which is coming from the opposite direction because my doors face west, I can get the morning light, diffused light coming in this way. Whew. So anyway, I'm very happy because I can have my curtain drawn open. Come on. Cooperate, thumbs. feel like a mammal with no thumbs. There we go. Yeah, so that's the first thing I wake up to, and I find it, it really helps me a lot during the day, have a better attitude, to have some daylight first thing in the morning. Then, and I do have one of those lights, but I don't like using it. It's artificial light. I have a daylight lamp that I can turn on in the winter. And it does help when I am not lazy and I pull it out and I use it. So that's another thing I plug in the winter. So yeah, I use a lot of outlets near the bed. Anyhow, see if I can hold this like this for a little bit. So we have new surge protectors. The umbrella can be up and it can give me daylight, diffused daylight in the afternoons where the sun is normally beating in here, beating like a big brass band. Oops. I guess brass doesn't beat. I guess drums beat like a big drum band. And I don't have to close the curtain, and it doesn't have to be all dark. And the patio, the umbrella is red. It's the only color they had left. So there's a red kind of hue to the light that comes in, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I wanted blue because that's my favorite color, but they didn't have any blue left. They have lots of blue cushions left that would have matched the blue umbrella, but all the blue umbrellas were gone. All they had was red. I would have liked a natural canvas color one, but they didn't have those either. Don't even know if they make those. We took the umbrella down, stored it in the sunroom for the storm, and I didn't put up yesterday because I forgot I had it. So yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, after the sun was already gone from the deck, I was like, you are so goofy, Martha. I'm not thrilled with that one, but anyway. Yeah, forgot I even had the silly thing. So this morning I got up and I went out. I put the deck umbrella up for the sunshine coming. And it's working perfectly right now. The sun would normally be beating in here, making it way hotter than it already is. That's the other thing. The weatherman teased us. Oh, there's going to be this cold front come down from Canada. Oh, yeah. Sure. The next week is going to feel like fall. It's going to feel like autumn. Yeah, sure. It's not. It's 87 out and it's humid and the dew point is 57 or something like that. It's still hot. It's still humid. It does not feel like autumn at all. I can't wait for autumn. And then in winter, I can't wait for spring. I love the shoulder seasons because they are the best weather for me. So I need to wrap this up. It's going to go over an hour if I want to do the black part. I think what I'll do is I'll do the black and white bits and this darker orange here, and then I'll put a picture at the end of the video because we're almost at an hour, people, and you've listened to me ramble about absolutely nothing. I do have a story about the our gas fireplace, but I'll save that story for the next video. That way I'll have something to talk about. I didn't think I'd have anything to talk about this time, but I guess I did. But now I used up everything that we did in the last week since I've seen you last. All right, so what I'm going to do is get a darker orange to do this and this. I'm going to get white to do these parts and black to do these parts, and I will show you a picture at the end. So there it is. It's funny, I'm looking at my screen and my screen is smudged and it looks like everything's blurry, but I know it shouldn't be. Yeah. And then we did this little beauty over here. I still have to do this one body, the body for this one, and put the antenna on it. I still have to do the birdhouse. What else do I have to do? I think we're getting close to being done with this. I have to do these bees up here. You can't see because I zoomed you in. I have to do these bees up here. The bird and the birdhouse is going to take me a little bit. Don't know if I'm going to do anything with the fence. Don't know. Yeah. So when I finish this, there will be a photo at the end if you want to see it. Hang around and see that. Don't forget to comment below. Give me a thumbs up if you liked hanging out with me. Let me know what you were working on in the comments below while I was rambling and stitching. And let me know what your next big project is going to be, especially if you're not doing the Roxy Journal of Stitchery stuff. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting, find your joy, and thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.